in the UK, we're almost exclusively talking about cells that have either come from fat or cells that have come from bone marrow. And even again,
pause you there, because I don't think we've finished the mouse. Just
okay.
Growing a new joint. I think that's something really important that people hear.
Yeah.
Stem cell therapy, regenerative medicine isn't saying, well, we've got a really knackered knee, so I'm going to put a bunch of stem cells in and you're going to have a pristine little 2-year-old's knee coming out at the end of it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
No, it's super important. Yeah. So so my experience as a scientist is that we work actually within the area of tissue engineering. So tissue engineering is a multidisciplinary approach, and you combine materials, biologicals. So by biologicals, that can be a cell, or it can be smaller parts. We could just be having proteins from the cell, things that are causing cell signaling. And the material itself can take the form of something that's biomimetic, so we are mimicking the normal biology, or it could be something that, say, we're a lot more familiar with, a metal hip or metal on plastic. Those are still a form of tissue engineering in a way, if you start to combine them with cells and fancy coatings and that kind of thing. So this idea, and I think the 3D printing revolution has also got I get very excited by it, but I do understand that it's very misleading, because you can literally print something that looks from the outside to be a new spine or a new joint. And what I would say is that this idea that we are moving towards a printed future, or a complete, designing and manufacturing a whole new joint, complete with cartilage, bone, blood vessels, and the rest of it, is not what we're talking about here at all.
So all of you guys that have been watching Netflix continuously since lockdown in March, we're not there. We're very much using it as an aid. It's not the whole deal. It's part of the picture. And when Cameron was talking about parts of a cell, I think that's really important that we stop and think about this. The stem cell doesn't come in and it just does its thing and it makes its whole new joint. It's what's within the stem cell and what it's telling other cells to do. So listen on. It's not that stem cell multiplies and turns into a joint. It's what that stem cell can tell other cells to do. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think, I don't, we can still be excited about what's coming in the pipeline. You can print, where you can manufacture a cartilage layer. You can grow fairly robust skin in a lab, for some sort of kind of better known examples. So there's a lot coming, but to be very clear, when you go and your vet says to you, because this is what we're talking about, your vet says to you, you've got an arthritic joint, I'm going to use stem cells. They are not meaning I'm going to use this very advanced, highly scientific joint replacement. That stuff is coming through, but what we're talking about effectively is using the biological power that's within the cells to help influence the joint. So an arthritic joint is a bit of an angry cauldron. We're a Halloween time, so let's go with the cauldron. And what you have in there is a whole mix between factors, so growth factors, cell types, that instead of continually renewing and keeping the joint surface and the joint as a whole in a homeostatic, so in a nice balanced, healthy way, we end up leaning towards one side where we have a bit of an angry, low-grade, bubbling, inflamed, obviously bubbling metaphorically. And no, if it is bubbling, then definitely go to the stem cells. So what we want in that situation is we want something to try and give a little bit of direction to what is an out of control process.